what's up, fantasy people? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard Ethan Wolt. And today we have a special guest, Ashley Serrano. I don't know if I said your last name correctly.
Yes, you did great.
Okay, cool. From our fantasy football league, and we're gonna go over, kind of like a recap of some of the highlights of our, fantasy season and stuff like that. And Jason, you want to properly introduce Ashley and tell the people how they can help the show?
Yeah, so we're gonna introduce Ashley, coming in, curly hair, blue eyes, Jordans on the feet, smiles in the suite, 4-time fantasy football champion, Ashley Serrano.
Oh, I feel so special.
Yeah, you should. You're our first guest on here. This is I literally just came up with that. I was thinking, how should I do the introduction? But I was like, you know what? I'll let the beer do the talk.
You did great. I love it.
Are you really a 4-time? Is she a 4-time champion, or is that legit?
No, yeah, I am. Just not in this league, but it counts. It still counts.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There was this other league that me and her were in. It was like a 12-man PPR league that I am no longer in because the commissioner sucks. But she stayed in it, and I feel like out of the past, I don't know how long we've been playing it, but for like 5 or 6 years, like me and Ashley have taken a lot of money from that league.
Yes.
But they just keep bumping it up, and there's just some things about it I just hate, so I got out. Anyway,
how many years has she been in our league?
I think she's been in since the start, and so I want to say she's been playing for like 9 years now because she's been in it from the start.
That's awesome.
I remember even asking her, I was like, hey, do you want to play some fantasy football? And she's like, what's that? I like the Cowboys.
I remember. That's stupid. And then I've been crazy ever since. Been my thing.
Yeah, well, I think it was like after a year of me really get to know Ashley, and I was like, you know what? There's something I have that you could really obsess over and really enjoy at times. And it's fantasy football, and I brought it to her. And she's pretty entertaining when it comes to the fantasy football world and how she deals with the stress and how she deals with victories. Before all this jazz, just want to make sure for people who are watching, if you could continue to support us, we would appreciate it if we get some subscriptions. Ashley subscribed. We told her, it's like, you can't get on the show unless you subscribe. Give us some likes. We would love that. And we also love getting in on conversation with the comments too. So all of it, please, please, please. We also have an Instagram. It's the Fantasy Football and Show, where we put out additional content. You guys are into that.
Thank you. So, yeah, this is our usual, Thursday night breakdown. I don't even think I said anything about that. But hey, guess what? There was no Thursday night football game this week. So we just before the Sunday football games and everything, we're just going to kind of go over, some important questions, like things that we learned from the year. Maybe go over like the fantasy MVP, biggest bust. Jason, I know you had like 5 questions laid out for Ashley, and we can all talk about those.
Are we going to get into that? You going to do it right now?
Yeah, there was something. Oh, you do. You know what? I did want to say, I wanted to lead this off because this is like breaking news. Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, and TJ Hawkinson are probably not going to play. Maybe just play the first quarter against the Bears in Week 18. Kevin O'Connell just came out with that, and I just wanted to lead with that just in case anybody was because leagues are kind of jacked up right now because of how Week 17 ended, and some leagues are actually playing this week for the championships. So that's kind of a big deal right now that the Vikings are going to rest a lot of their players.
Well, they didn't play last week either.
Good one, Jason.
2 weeks off. They're getting ready for that playoff run.
I know, dude. No kidding. Hey, man, and all the Kirk Cousins hate I've been spewing. Now everybody's starting to feel the same way. So,
what about Osborne? Is he still going to play?
It doesn't say anything about Osborne, but I would bet that he does not. They would throw Thielen out there before Osborne at this point.
If Osborne does play,
he's gonna be. He would be like he'd win you a championship if it came down to this.
Yeah, keep an eye on it for the Osbornes.
So, Jason, you can get into your first question. let's get Ashley involved.
All right, Ashley.
Yeah, I like sponsors.
It's just Brittany made us like little
Oh,
sponsors. Not yet, but if you're out there, come talk to us. I don't even care if it's like nail clippers sponsor. I'll do those too.
Do you want nails like these?
I love that.
Like you could trim down your fantasy football draft and trim your nails at the same time. All right. So I got a couple of questions for you, Ashley, and it's involving our league. She made it further than me and Tyler, so obviously she is a superior fantasy manager. So speaking of that, going into that, how did you feel about your draft? So before they even started, we did the draft. How'd you feel about it?
Well, you know me. Typically, I don't like any of my team, so that's how I felt. I was like, "Oh, this is stupid. It never goes the way I want it."
I feel like every year, like probably 30 minutes after the draft, I get a text from Ashley and being like, I hate my draft.
That's what I do. That's the routine. You already know how it is.
Yeah.
I'm training the whole time.
How do we get a redo? And stupid Tyler got my player before.
Yeah, Tyler's always stealing my player.
Yeah,
hey, I took a bullet. I took a bullet for you this year. I took like a 9-round magazine for you this year.
And I still couldn't win. Come on now.
What draft pick did you have?
Ugh, the first one.
Oh, you did. Oh,
I did.
So yeah. So obviously you went with Jonathan Taylor Thomas with the first pick.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes. Unfortunately.
Yes, I'm in the same boat. In another league, I had the first pick. It was one of those just leagues where you don't know what you're picking until you enter the draft. I had the first one, and I was like automatically, I got to get Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Hopefully, you could do some little home improvement.
Yeah.
But because I had him last year too in our league, I had him last year, and that dude killed it for me. He took me to the playoffs and everything. So I was like, this guy's going to be better. He's still young. He's great. He's with the offense, defensive line. Even with Carson Wentz, he did well. So Matt Ryan, he should did okay. Yeah, he was a big old bust for both of us this year. And he probably, because, in our league, we have the snake draft. So you have that first pick, and then you don't pick again for like another 20 picks.
Mm-hmm.
So we're thinking we're trying to get like a player like Jonathan Taylor Jonathan Taylor. I don't know why I keep saying Thomas at that. You know why? It's because at my work, they play Home Improvement all the time.
Fun fact, I've been watching reruns. Just saying.
Oh my God. I keep thinking, I'm like, I see him at work and I can't really watch it because I'm working, but I'm just like, I want to go home and like rewatch the whole series again. That was such a good
I just finished it, sadly. I know.
So, I mean, in the end, you had some good games with, there was a few good games with Jonathan Taylor. How did you ended up feeling about him with your first overall pick? Let it all out.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible. I know a lot of it's not his fault, but my first pick, I was so excited. At the end of last year, I was like, oh, I got the first pick. I know who I'm getting. I'm like, I'm about to win a championship. Yeah. No. Didn't happen.
Yeah, it was he was one of those like situations too where it was like, I think the first game he against the Texans he showed a little something, right? Where it's like, okay, it looks like we're going to pick up where we left off. And then it was really nothing after that. Then he had his first injury since high school. Tyler, you got something?
I just want to say that he was drafted first overall, and his end of the year rank among running backs was 32nd, and his points per game, which I like because he was injured, but was 20th. So to me, I think he was the biggest bust of the year, and Ashley actually, survived that. So I think that was good.
Yeah, that's very true. For having the biggest bust of the year, and then you still made it into the playoffs, still battling for money. You did better than me and Tyler, and we had like later picks. So, with that being said, are you staying away from Jonathan Taylor next year?
Oh, definitely. I'm cursed. I feel like I'm cursed. Like I get these players, and the next year they get hurt.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what to do. But I am not drafting him again.
And
Not
it's
like
like,
he's available in the later rounds.
right, yeah. And the thing is, it's so funny because it's like there's so much pressure on that first pick, right? Because you're like, this is the pick, and you got to make sure that this guy does well for the whole season because he's the first overall pick. And
Right.
so Jonathan Taylor was the for sure dude, right? Like I said, young, doesn't get hurt, has a great offensive line, and then bam. But I mean, you still managed your team pretty well. You ended up, there at the end trying to play for some money. So kudos to you for managing your team well.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still upset. Okay, I'm still upset, but
You
I'll get
still
over it.
burn. You still feel the burn.
I do. I remember I texted you too. I was like, I regret getting him. I regret it. I'm pissed. Like,
Oh yeah, in my other league, also this league that I have, my first round pick, I got it was either Joe Mixon or Najee Harris, and I was just like, I don't know, and I got Joe Mixon, and I'm like, I'm never getting that full again. I got that guy his rookie year, thinking he was going to do well. I got him this year because he had a pretty decent year last year. No, that was a big old dud for me. Tyler?
Who would you rather have, Jonathan Taylor or Joe Mixon?
I mean, there's no way any of those players are going in the first round. I guess you just got to wait to see what's going to happen in the offseason, right? Like, they got to get rid of Matt Ryan. I've been saying it all season. They got to go in and draft a quarterback. They got to get something to. I mean, Matt Ryan's washed up, right? We're seeing the end of Matt Ryan's career. Maybe if they get a quarterback that I like and maybe improve some offensive line in the free agency, be like, yeah, dude, I'll get Jonathan Taylor. The thing is, like, for the Bengals, is like you have what's that? Piron Tyler, Sanjay
Samaje
Piron.
P. Ryan.
Yeah, that guy too. He gets put in place for Joe Mixon, and that guy kills it. Right? He's doing well. Then Joe Mixon comes back after his concussion, and he's not playing the same way as Piron was. So it's like, I guess in the end, it would be Jonathan Taylor that I would probably get if I had to choose between the two.
And then
Well,
Ashley, would you rather have Jonathan Taylor or Damian Pierce? You and I almost had that trade. I remember instantly regretting not taking that trade when he sent it to me. But we both, both those players ended up being huge busts down the stretch.
I don't know. That's a good question. I think I'm going to go with probably Pierce. I told you, once I get someone on my do not draft list, he's on there. Like Derrick Henry, he's on there. I'm never getting that dude again ever. So yeah, I'll probably go with Pierce. He's young. You know what I mean? I think they can get him.
Yeah. When did you have Derrick Henry?
I can't even remember. I just know I got him, and I couldn't stand him ever since. No, forget that dude.
Well, hey, I had Derrick Henry this year, and he ended up being okay for me. He's one of the few running backs that he was drafted third, and he ended up fourth on everything pretty much. So one of the few running backs. There was huge busts. Top 10 running backs were all busts, almost. But yeah, I'm looking at the list right now.
Well, since we're speaking about trades, I want to go into my next question, which is, Ashley, why did you feel like you needed to trade? Ashley made some trades this year. She made actual trades to Tyler and myself. Why did you feel like you needed to start that process?
I think I was freaking out over Taylor, obviously. So I was trying to get Pierce, and Tyler wouldn't do it. So I was like, okay, he got Olave because I needed him back because he was doing well, because again, I have no patience, and I dropped him. So I was like, okay, let's try this, and I ended up getting him. So, it's okay. It worked out, I guess.
I remember when that trade went through, me and Tyler were actually doing a video, and it showed up on the video, and I was like, we got an emergency trade alert going down right now. Trade accepted. And then it was just funny because you ended up giving Olave back.
Yeah. You know me. I'm like, you know what? I need to do better. I need to do better.
You're just like, I need to win every game, because if I lose one, my team sucks. I'm trading them all. Screw them.
That's me. I put money on this. Like, they need to win. Like, whatever. Dude, they owe me.
They owe me. That's the pressure we put on ourselves just because there is money involved and, there's the ego and the pride. We want it. It's like when there's any chance of like you see any decline in your team, you're like, dude, I got to get rid of these players. Stab. We had a trade too. I was in a tough situation where I drafted Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers because I am a fantasy football expert, and I was like, these players are going to take me to the promised land. I ended up dropping both of them by like week 4, week 5. So I was just like bouncing back from like quarterback to quarterback. And I noticed I tried to get Justin Fields, but I had no fab. So someone else had Justin Fields, this one here, Ashley. But you also had Murray on your team. And I was like, you know what? I don't see her ever using Murray. So I'm going to do everything that I can to give her some players just so I could get Murray. And we were kind of texting about this earlier in the day. Why did you feel that it was okay to accept like that trade?
I think at the time, again, I'm freaking out over wide receivers again because Keenan Allen was hurt, and I think Godwin got hurt too. He was out, so I needed wide receivers. So you added Pickens in there. So I was like, okay, you need a quarterback. I need a wide receiver. So I was fine with it because Murray pissed me off too. So like, yeah, take it.
He got his revenge in the end. Right when I needed him the most, that blade of grass ended his season. I'm so pissed at that landscaper not mowing that grass properly. Jesus, those are killers on the knees, man. They're killer on the knees. Those blades of grass. I can't remember the full trade. Sorry, I'm trying to like pour my beer and not get so much foam.
I'm trying to remember what that old Disney show or Nickelodeon show was, like Camp something.
Camp Eat My Shorts.
Camp. Oh no, Camp. Da da da.
Yeah.
And
shorts.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Blue shorts.
Yeah.
And I remember the guy with the guy with the sunscreen. He always wore like a bucket hat and sunscreen on his nose. Yeah. He was out there with a scissors and a ruler, man, just cutting the grass. They need that guy, Jason.
I know. I was like, I just traded for this guy and then he was dealing with a hamstring injury for the couple of games I had him for. And then when it was finally, I'm like, all right, we're gonna do this playoff run. He's healthy. First quarter, that dude goes down. I'm just like, did he hit a sprinkler head? What is going on? What is going on? This guy's faking, dude. It's Halloween, man. This guy's faking. He ain't hurt. No, he's out. And I was pretty much screwed after that. And the whole time, because the person I really wanted was Justin Fields, but there was no way I didn't have the manpower on my team to trade for Justin Fields. And that guy was on the path to break Lamar Jackson's rushing record for a quarterback. How did you feel about Justin Fields this year?
Oh, I loved him. I liked him a lot. He did well. I just think he needs to work on his interceptions, but I think he's great, and I can't wait to see what he does next year. So I'm excited.
Would you draft him next year?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm all for mobile quarterbacks that can do it all.
Damn.
So he's up there.
There's also a chance that they might get the first overall pick next year. I think, if I'm understanding it right, the Colts need to win, or the Texans. The Texans need to win, and if the Bears lose, they'll have the first pick in the next year's draft. For me, to help out this Justin Fields guy, I would hope that they go after a wide receiver.
Right.
Wide receiver or offensive lineman. They got their tight end, but offensive line, wide receiver, help give some targets for Justin Fields to throw the ball to. He's going to run. The only thing is, look what's happening to him as he's running the ball as much as he is. Did he miss a game or he was getting close to miss a game just because he had a separated shoulder because he's getting hit a lot more? That kind of scares me. But, he is a young buck. He is a young buck. He could probably regenerate faster than S3 on the screen. But that's something that we could look into maybe next year or when the draft comes up if they get like the first pick. Tyler, do you have something?
I was just saying, like, they have Cole Kmet, they've got Mooney, who's got a good rapport with. And then they traded for Chase Claypool. I think more than anything, they need to protect him with offensive linemen. And then I don't know, I can't remember if he broke Michael Vick's record. I think I said this on the last show of 1,000 and something yards rushing. I think he broke that record. And then I do want to say, Ashley, that is amazing that you remember Salute Your Shorts. That is like, I can't believe that you thought of that.
I live in the past. What can I say?
I think me and Ashley used to talk about that show back in the old LCCF days.
Donkey Lips, man. Donkey Lips was on Dude, Where's Your Car? He was the guy that got his bubble suit stolen.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I just remember the name of the show because I'm like, this is a stupid ass title for a show.
I used to love that. Well, they'd fly the flag of, like, you know, they're boxers or something, I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. And you'd salute the boxers.
So going off of that, like, I know, Tyler, that you said like he's got the weapons. I don't like Claypool. I don't like Maroney. You can never go wrong with like getting an offensive lineman, which they would probably get. Like, I don't know any wide receivers right now in college that are going to be like a first overall pick, so it could be a lineman. Who?
Dude, huh? Marvin Harrison Jr. Have you heard about him?
Tyler, who do you think told you about that guy?
That guy, if he comes out, is he coming out next year? Because you better watch where he goes.
Better watch out. He had a concussion in the playoff game against Georgia, so he got laid out.
You know more than I do.
No, Tyler, I just had to watch it. It was on New Year's Eve. Yeah, he would probably be the only guy that I know in college, just because I'm like, oh, I used to have his dad on my fantasy team, Marvin Harrison. Okay. Next, I guess we kind of, so the trade that you had with like Tyler, how'd you feel the trade ended up? Like, did you overall, now that the season's over, did you like the trade that you had with Tyler?
Yeah, I liked it. I think I gave up, was it Pacheco or something like that for him? So at the time he wasn't doing anything. So I was like, yeah, I'm excited to see him next year. Olave, I think he's going to do good if they get a better quarterback. But what do I know?
No, that's me and Tyler preach that all the time. Yeah.
No, and so second year wide receivers are historic, like in the last like 10 years have been the biggest jump in fantasy points. And if you watched Olave, man, like he separated. I loved Olave, but I was all about Pacheco. I was preaching Pacheco. So, and she picked up Pacheco in the morning. Like, I was like, oh my God, who is this? I woke up like at 5:30 in the morning. I was in the bathroom and I was like, somebody picked this person up. Like, oh my God, who is this? And it was Ashley. And I was like, I think I texted him. I was like, dude, Ashley like picks up all the players I want. And like, she's on a different time zone. It's killing me.
Yeah, well, she's in the bathroom in the mornings 2 hours before us.
And she's doing her hair. But yeah, so like I just thought it was like Pacheco, you know, like I said, I'm not gonna invest heavily in any running back on a Patrick Mahomes offense that's not a pass catcher. So Pacheco was okay. Like you could have flexed him out in a deep league, maybe 12-man league flex would have been good for you. But Olave was like the star, but then he got like a hamstring injury, and like I don't know if he was hiding it, but it's been on the injury report for a couple of weeks now. And that Rashid Shaheed, he took over all the targets, man, and started getting all the Olave points. If Jameis Winston would have been in there, dude, Olave would have been like a top 10 wide receiver this year. It'd have been crazy.
I really like Olave. But the thing is, like, I don't even think I will. Oh, there's no chance for me getting an early pick on this guy until they get like a new quarterback. So I don't trust Dalton. I don't trust Winston. And the coach doesn't trust him either, just because they keep throwing in Taysom Hill in there, and that dude's like 55 years old and he's tied in. I think he has the potential. They got to get a new quarterback. Their quarterback situation is just like, it's up in the air. Nobody knows what's going on. They don't have the best quarterbacks. They need somebody that they can actually groom into to be a franchise quarterback. Till then, I'm not picking up Olave till probably like mid rounds. Okay, so our trade. What do you think about our trade in the end? Did you like it or no?
I really didn't. I mean, like, I wasn't going to use Murray anyway. Well, honestly, no, because I gave up Ingram, and I know you ended up dropping him, but he started killing it at the end, and I needed a tight end who would produce. And then I dropped Chuba Hubbard like an idiot because he wasn't doing anything. And then again, here he goes. And I'm just like, what did I do? What did I do? You know? So I really did not like that trade at all. At all.
I think we're on the same page there, because at first I was like, I just need to get this quarterback, and I got him, and then he's out for the playoffs. I couldn't even start him. I was a big believer in George Pickens. Is that his name?
Pickens.
Right? And oh my gosh, I thought he was going to do so much better. For the record, for the most contested footballs caught in the league, Pickens is number 3, and he's like behind DJ or Justin Jefferson and DJ Metcalf. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means he can't get separation or he's good at fighting for the ball. I don't know. I don't know how that stat's supposed to work, but and also they had like Kenny Pickett. I prefer Kenny Pickett over Trubisky, but this is also another thing. Like maybe next year we'll see a bigger growth in Pickens, because I do like Pickens. He was a crazy dude. He was like pushing over people in college. He can make those catches. He killed it in the preseason. I think I think in the end, I don't know. You didn't like the trade, and I feel like I wasted players. I don't know. Well, I mean, I feel like I gave her these players, and in the end, it's funny though, because you end up dropping Hubbard, and I ended up picking him up just because I had Devontae Freeman on my team. And there's always like, is Devontae Freeman going to play on a broken foot or something like that? And I was like, all right, I gotta get Hubbard. So I guess in the end, I got one of the players back, so probably would have benefited me better. But in the end, we didn't play any of the players that we traded for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it Fields. Oh my god.
So one thing about George Pickens, you said next year dude, they just paid Deontay Johnson, and he had the most targets of like without a touchdown like in history or something like that. So it'll be interesting if they try to get rid of him or not over the offseason.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good stat too, because how did you get all these targets? Did he even have a touchdown this year? Maybe
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I mean, well, they've had a really tough. They were just like the Saints. They had a tough situation in the back. Like, who were they going to play? Were they going to play Pickett? Were they going to play Trubisky? Risky?
Can I ask Ashley something?
Hold on. Let me ask her. Ashley, can he ask you something?
Yeah.
Yes, Tyler, you can ask her something.
I know you weren't in the fantasy football championship, but do you have an opinion of how that should be handled? With the injury on that game and how it's not going to be played?
I thought about it. I was like, maybe they should just split the money. I mean, split the money in half, and I think it'd be even that way. I would have been happy with that. Just because this week, look at everyone who's sitting. Like, you got all these top players, and then you're sitting everyone. Like, why even do that? Just equally, and that's the best, I think.
So
hold
on. I want to say I agree with her
hold on.
a lot. What?
Did you guys hear that? I was trying to like. Okay, Tyler, you could go on. Did you hear that? Did you hear what I did?
Where's Lil John at? Is he there?
He's there. Lil John. Oh, he's to the window.
To the wall?
Oh, oh, damn! It slip dropped down his balls. Oh, damn.
Excuse me, madam. I'd like to come inside of your house, please. I am thirsty.
Oh, the Dave Chappelle, man. God, I want to go back and watch that skit.
What did I ask? Oh, how it should be handled and everything, huh?
Yeah, I fully agree.
Okay, well, I want to say like the first option I would think would be the two parties. Like, if you're in the championship and you guys know each other, if you can agree on something, that would be number one. Like split pot, like she said, that's exactly what I would do. But if you don't know the person or something super competitive or whatever, I was telling Jason this, like, the only way you can do it without speculation and like craziness is just to count it as an injury. Like, this injury was so bad, everybody on the field had a mental health injury pretty much and didn't want to play the game anymore. So it's like, count the points that they had up until that point and then just call it. And like, that would be terrible. Say I had Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, I was down by 1. But you'd have to, like, maybe then you reach out to the other person and see if they want to agree with something. But if I was a manager, that's the way I would do it. I would just cut the points, get what you get, treat it as a huge injury, and that's all.
Yeah, I mean that it was a crazy thing to see, right? And like a lot of people, especially in our league, we had talks like, what are we going to do for fantasy? Even though fantasy's like the last thing to even think about at that time. But the good thing about our league is that it didn't matter. That game didn't matter. The championship was already won. But in the end, I think to only be fair and to be right, it's like it is to split the money. To call, hopefully the person. I mean, there's going to be situations where like there's going to be some greedy people, and then in the end, it's almost like so last year, when I was playing in the finals, I had Antonio Brown who just decided to quit football in the second quarter. Yeah, and I'm just in the second quarter, and I'm just like, okay, so this sucks, and it's like basically what I just had to do. It's like it's basically whatever points he just had, he's just technically he got injured during the game, and that's all he was going to produce. And it really, I mean, I think if I remember right, I didn't really stand a chance. But I mean, you never know. Antonio Brown could have put up 125 points. Somebody helped me out. But in the end, it's like, I feel like you got to just like treat it like it is an injury. But also you need to reach out and just be like, hey, the circumstances, like this is like once in a lifetime. I don't think this has ever happened. We'll be lucky to see it happen, or lucky. Unfortunately, hopefully we don't see this again in our lifetime. Hopefully you have some understanding people in your league that can also like split the winnings, whatever it is. And then our league, we have a trophy. The trophy will automatically go to the commissioner, which is me, which I would raise above my head when I get it in the mail. But yeah, I totally agree. It's probably one of the best ways. It's a tough situation, right? It's tough how to handle these, but especially since it's never happened before. So
all three of us agree that you should reach out to the person you're playing against and try to settle on it. Don't try to make the league managers are just normal people like Jason. Jason can't even pronounce names right. Give them a break.
Names right. What's that guy for the Bronco or the Titans? Oshimibigati Island.
Okay, hey, I know you have more questions for Ashley. You wanted to start a new video?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
That went really fast.
I need to go grab another beer. Yes.
Sorry, Ashley.
Let's do another video. I got a couple more. Ashley, you down?
Yeah. Let's do it.
We're gonna hyper focus on the questions with Ashley here in a minute, and we will be right back. Thank you so much.
So
we're back from the darkness and into the light, if you can handle that. So Jason has more questions for Ashley, our special guest. The fantasy MVP, Ashley Serrano, is here to speak with us, and we're going to ask her some questions.
We're very honored. She's all the way from Texas. It's 7:00 there. She's ready for bed.
Exactly. And I'm staying up for y'all.
Thank you. I feel like I'm going to pass out after this. So my next question was, we kind of went over it a little bit, where I just want to know some of the players that you think were kind of more disappointing this year in your point of view. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, he's probably the biggest disappointment all year. But do you have like an additional player or two that you were like, maybe not even on your team, but you were just realizing like, oh, this guy, I thought he was going to do better, or someone on your team that you thought was going to do better, that's why you drafted him and he didn't perform well?
For my team, I'd probably say Kyler Murray for sure. I was very disappointed. I don't know what he was doing. Too busy playing video games. I don't know.
Yeah.
But as far as my team, and then I was really upset about Keenan Allen getting hurt in the first week. So that really just, I know you can't help it, but you know me. So
Yeah. And you got him, what, like 4th or 5th round?
I think I got him the third round.
3rd round.
I think, or maybe the second round. I can't remember, but it was up there. So I was just like, come on, really?
Yeah, you got him early, and he gave you what, 20 minutes in the first week, and
Yep.
then he was out for 10 weeks, basically. Yeah, I think that kind of benefited me in a way because I had Mike Williams on my team. He got more targets and touchdowns. But yeah, I mean Keenan Allen. Tyler, do you know how old Keenan Allen's getting? Is he getting up?
But I kept on saying, people, man, like I don't blame them on really liking Keenan Allen.
Yeah,
and liking him because man, he almost got me to a championship. I mean, he got me to like a huge, like a 10-2 record not 10-2. Like I don't know, I had an amazing record last year. Keenan Allen was a huge part of it. But Ashley, did he help you in the playoffs? Like, because I know that you advanced. When it mattered, I know it sucked all year long. He was not worth the draft pick, but did he help you when it mattered?
Oh yeah, definitely towards the end of the season he did. So I mean, I was happy about that, but it was scary there for a minute. I didn't think I was gonna make it at all. So I was like, come on now.
I think all three of us were like, "What's going to happen? Are we going to make it or what?"
All three of us, Jason? I don't think you know who you're talking to, dude.
You and me, Ashley, we were like, "Are we going to make it or what?"
Yeah, you know me. I worry about every week. Okay, every week I'm like, oh, it's over. I'm gonna quit. I'm done.
Every week is the championship week for Ashley.
Win or go home. Win or go home.
Win or go home. Why are we even playing this game if we're not winning? Yeah, well, you kept a hold of them all year. I'm pretty sure. Did you put them in your IR slot too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when the time actually came, I mean, he even had that one game where he was kind of like on a pitch count, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe against Seattle, I could be wrong, but he played like probably only like 10 snaps. But when he fully came back, he ended up doing pretty well, and he did help you out some, which is great. It's like, so it's one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, well, I drafted him in the 3rd round. He didn't get me to the playoffs, but he helped me in the playoffs. 805, baby. With that being said, is he somebody that you would pick up for next year?
Late rounds, very late rounds. I wouldn't get him early again at all. I think Williams just went crazy when he was playing.
Yeah.
Crazy catches, and then Eckler, who's just amazing. So
Yeah. You know, Eckler got up there again with like what, 18, 19, 20 touchdowns. There's a chance that he's going to add on to that because there's an early game that like if somebody loses, Chargers have to play. They have to win to play. Or if that team loses, is it the Ravens? I think it might be the Ravens. If the Ravens lose, Chargers are automatically in. If the Ravens win, Chargers have to play. So there's a chance that he might that whole team might be in the starting lineup and might be able to play again. So I think I'm with you though. I think with the injury concern that you're not going to see Keenan Allen go in second, third, 4th round next year. Maybe late 4th, 5th round. How do you feel, Tyler?
Oh, well, she said she was talking about Austin Eckler being good, and I just wanted to say, I was like, dude, Austin Eckler was like almost the number 1 ranked running back, pretty much in standard leagues. Like you could almost make a case for him being like, so Josh Jacobs, like, you know, I'm not gonna talk about whatever, dude. I'm buzzed like the B movie. But I was gonna say, like, Austin Eckler, you could make a case for if Josh Jacobs did, you know, Josh Jacobs was drafted so low, and it overperformed so much, it was kind of ridiculous. But dude, Austin Eckler was like the top performing top 5 running back by far, and he's really not that. I don't know how old he is, but it's like even if they drafted somebody, I could still see Austin Eckler being really good next year.
Yeah, but I doubt they're going to draft anybody.
Offensive line.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, offensive line, but who they have? They got Sony Michael.
Sony
They got
Michelle, not Justin Jackson. I think Justin Jackson's on Detroit now.
They have Kelly. They have Joshua Kelly.
That's what it was. Spiller was the rookie that people thought was going to take over Austin Eckler, and they were all freaked out for like the first month of the year. And then Austin Eckler carried him to the championship. So
yeah,
I thought that was good that Ashley said that.
Spiller just spilt milk. That's all he did. He just spilled. You heard that here. Heard that here. Everyone thinks that's funny. I pressed the laughing button. I don't know if anyone can hear it, but I'll do it on this show.
I'm thinking of that. I keep on thinking of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Hey, man, if you add laughs, it's funny. You know, it doesn't matter if it's funny or not. You just add laughs. It's funny.
Okay, those are some great answers. I got one more. Tyler has to pee. So for the fifth and final question from me, I'm gonna say, what are some players that you're excited for next year?
Oh, Eckler. I love that guy.
Eckler.
Eckler is the dude for me. I'm excited for him and Fields. And of course, Jefferson, he just went off this year. So
Tyler says he's getting Justin Jefferson first overall pick next year. So
if
no matter
Eckler's
what,
available, I'm getting him.
there's a chance. What do you have? You're going to have.
I think the 6th pick. I think
you're going to have the 7th pick.
7th.
You're going to have the 7th pick.
Okay.
I'm not getting a running back. I'm going Tyreek Hill or Jamar Chase. So Tyler, Ashley says she's very excited for Austin Eckler next year, and that's a player that she's going to be targeting.
Yeah, because I was looking at that because I was like, dude, Austin Eckler right now is my number 2 rated running back behind Christian McCaffrey, but I also have like maybe 3 wide receivers ahead of that, so she might get him, especially after all like the preseason. You know, everybody's gonna be knocking Austin Eckler before next season, so she might be able to get him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. You know. So Justin Jefferson, Tyler said that he's getting. Christian McCaffrey is going to have to go sometime after that. I'm getting Tyreek Hill or Jamar Chase in the 5th pick. So I guess it just really maybe somebody will go after Derrick Henry before Eckler, or maybe even Cup. So I wanted to throw this at you, both you guys. So I just saw this way too early rankings. Of course, that happens every year. They had Austin Eckler going number 1. Then they had Christian McCaffrey go number 2. Then it was Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp. Remember that guy? Remember him?
He's in my rankings.
And then number 5 was Tyreek Hill. How do you guys feel about that?
Ashley, you first.
Put the pressure on Ashley. She's got to go first.
Oh, just you said Eckler is number 1?
Eckler would be. How do you feel as Eckler being the number 1 quarter or fantasy pick next year?
Honestly, I love it. I mean, especially for PPR. I mean, he catches everything. He's scoring all these touchdowns. So I'm like, you get a 2 for 1. You get a running back and a wide receiver. So I give it to him all the time. So yeah. I honestly like that. But I definitely put him over Christian McCaffrey. I mean, I never know if he's healthy or not. Like, he scares me. Like,
that's very true.
That's why I didn't get him this year. I'm like, no, I just can't trust the dude. So I think Jefferson's good where he's at. I actually like that. Just I don't agree with McCaffrey being there, but I get why.
Right, because he's very dynamic. But you're absolutely right. Eckler has been more durable than McCaffrey. And me and Tyler, I think last week I was talking about like the Chargers. If they get on the 1 yard line, it's either going to be a rushing touchdown by Eckler or it's going to be a passing touchdown, a receiving touchdown by Eckler. It's going to be one of them two. I mean, and he has a possibility to put up another 20-point touchdown season this year. Tyler, how would you feel if you weren't drafting first next year? How would you feel if Eckler was the first overall pick?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just looking. I was like 7 of the top 10 running backs were bust this year, right?
Absolutely.
And I think it was like 9 of the top 10 wide receivers were lived up to their ADPs. So that's why I'm like, dude. And so like I'm biased right now because I'm coming off a season where I owned, Michael Pittman Jr., Cortland Sutton, Gabe Davis, Brandon Cooks, every bust you could think of. So like I really want, and I feel like you can find running backs, on waiver wires early in the year, and late lottery picks and stuff like that. Just draft every single rookie running back. You'll probably get a hit. So like I feel like I want to get an established wide receiver and then just take chances from then on. So I do. As far as I like Justin Jefferson, I like Justin Jefferson number one because like that stat where he has like he's got like more 100 receiving yard games more than anybody through the first 4 seasons, and he's in his third season. So I really like Justin Jefferson as far as consistency with yards goes. But like Ashley makes a good point, like I have Christian McCaffrey ahead of Austin Eckler, but I can't remember the last time Austin Eckler was like injured for a long time. I think it might have been last year. But like I trust Austin Eckler a lot more than Christian McCaffrey. The only reason I value Christian McCaffrey is because he's in the San Francisco offense. So I think I need to maybe relook at that after listening to Ashley. But as far as those top 5 go, I don't think you can go wrong. It just depends on who you want, a running back or a wide receiver.
Yeah, I think Eckler, I think his rushing totals were a little down this year. He didn't have really touchdowns that were a great distance, even though last week he did have like an 80-yard touchdown. It was like his first of the year. 6?
He was 6th in yards rank. So as far as receiving yards and rushing yards, he was actually 6th.
Well, yeah, combined. Yeah, right. Like a total scrimmage. I'm just talking about rushing yards and total. Yeah,
I get you.
he's going to get his receiving yards. Like I don't know if he ended up doing it, but there was a time that he was on pace to like break the record for the most for the most catches from a running back ever, Marshall Falk. But I don't know if he reached it. But the thing is, it's like it doesn't matter. That guy is still getting touchdowns, right? There's always that thing where he had 20 touchdowns. He had 20 touchdowns last year. Raise the roof. I get it. Go higher. 20.
My shoulder is killing me.
30. You're always saying like, okay, well, you can't do 20 touchdowns again, so there's going to be like a decline. Perfect example of that was D'Angelo Williams, who got like 20 touchdowns, and then I drafted him in like the 4th overall, the 5th overall, and it was one of the biggest mistakes of my life. Do you think that there's going to be that decline, right? I mean, even Lindell White had the same thing. Chris Johnson had the same thing, but Eckler didn't, because you get down to the goal line, it's going to be Eckler for rushing, it's going to be Eckler for receiving. So it's hard to say. I'm all for the wide receivers in the top picks because we are abandoning running backs this year. We are going passing, we are going wide receivers. And I feel like more consistently, we got some players up there: Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, if Matthew Stafford continues to play for the Rams, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, because Jamar Chase is only as good as Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow he didn't start off great, but he's playing well. I think those picks, even we talked about maybe Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs. I think those were. I had Diggs on my team. He was the most consistent player that I had this year. We're scoring over 10 points. So the first 5 picks, it's going to be. You got something, Tyler?
No, I was thinking like no, I think we covered it pretty well. You can go on. I want to ask Ashley. I don't want to ask Ashley something. I do, but later on. But I want you to ask Ashley a new question.
Oh, that's it. We went through the questionnaire that I gave her to study so she could give professional and ethical questions to our show. That's what viewers want to see. They want to see the professionalism on this. Yeah, I already went through it. So,
Well,
It's
actually,
all
like, yeah. And so you think that Jonathan Taylor Thomas was like Jonathan Taylor was your biggest bust? So who do you think that was your biggest your personal fantasy MVP for on your team?
Uh, I would say Fields, but I didn't have him the whole year. So the whole year, I would say Devonta Smith. He came through pretty much every week. He he did good. What are you laughing at?
because I was almost seeing like you were going to be like, I didn't win the championship, so they all suck.
I don't want to be too harsh. Like they're gonna be like hate mail sent to me or something. Like screw her. Like whatever. So I'm trying to be like calm,
Right.
calm me.
So
But no, I
was
say Smith because he did great. Like he did better than I thought he would.
Devontae Smith, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I really like Devontae Smith. I was just talking about him on our last episode, being like, dude, like Gardner Minshew actually focused on, he was the number one wide receiver under when Gardner Minshew was there. And dude, people forget how good he set all kinds of college records that senior year. And when I watched that Eagles game, he plays so much bigger than what he actually is. I really like Devontae Smith. Did you start him in your wide receiver 2 or your flex?
I think I rotated between the two. But I played him every week, pretty much every week. So
Devontae Smith, best flex option all year.
So one thing I'm gaining from this year, and I'm finally transitioning, is to wide receivers, right? So I would always go running back in my flex, and I think the days of that might be gone. So Devontae Smith in your flex, I mean, that's probably better than any other running back option that you can think of in your flex. Like a third running back on your team being the flex. I think you're better off with probably your third wide receiver these days.
I think that's what I did primarily do the whole season. I did 3 running back set. So.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I think so.
See, I always like that because I like guaranteed volume, like you don't know if a wide receiver is going to get throwing the ball, but that running back's going to get the ball. So I do like that. And then, do you have an idea of like, was there like a fantasy MVP that you like of the league, like, was there a player on a different team that you thought would just like, God, I wish I had that person or something?
Yeah, Eckler. That's just the dude. He's my dude. Like I had him last year in a different league, and I won with him. So ever since then, I'm like, you know what? I like this guy. So
yeah, and his biggest argument, like you said, was touchdown regression. So that touchdown regression did not scare you from drafting him, right?
no.
And so you benefited from everybody's fear. I feared it, and so I was like, I can't remember who I drafted first. I'm like so buzzed, but I'm browning out right now.
I'm browning out. You browning out. I'm browning out. All right, it's a TV show, Ashley.
I figured one of them shows y'all watch.
I'm surprised you don't watch that show.
Did you come up with that on the spot? I did. Well, I'm going to steal it from you.
Ashley. Oh yeah, I know. You need to watch after Home Improvement, which I just ran through and I made Jason watch it. Was King of the Hill. You live in Texas?
Oh, I love that show.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Damn it, Bobby!
Damn it, Bobby!
My dad always said,
hey.
there better be a cheerleader out of that bed.
Look at sand. Hey, do you remember that? You remember when I sent you that video, Tyler, and it was like Bobby catching a pass from Tom Hank, and they're like, "There's 4 seconds left."
Yeah, and
Bobby got the ball at the 4, and Bobby's like, "And they ran the clock out."
I remember when they were all standing in the backyard, in the back alley, and they're like, "Man, Dale, I like your belt buckle," and he's like, "I've got Joseph strength now." Because he was all
Joseph was the only one that actually grew in that show. It was like, what, season 5, he hit puberty, and Bobby's just like, when do I get it?
So I do want to say something about this and include Ashley. So like this, which fantasy football like staples through the year, like, are we never going to see again? And like, I've got a list here, like Adam Thielen, like Kareem Hunt, Robert Woods, like Leonard Fournette, Brandon Cooks, maybe Alvin Kamara. Did you own any of these people, Ashley? Like Melvin Gordon, James Robinson, CEH? Did you own any of those?
I had Fournette.
How did
Yeah.
you feel about Fournette? Like, I was trying to gauge Fournette through the year. Like, how did you like having him?
I liked him. He didn't do as well as he did last year because I had him in another league last year again,
Mhm.
and he helped me win that league. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this dude. And then he didn't do what I thought he would this year, but I like him for some reason. I like him. I don't know what the heck's going on with the Bucks, but what do I know?
New coach, old quarterback.
You know, I love the GOAT. I do, but I'm like, dude, what the hell? Like, get you a new girl or something. I don't know what's going on. Get it. Heartbreak sucked, but god dang.
We're gonna find a short right there, dude.
That's our short right there. Yeah.
I wanted to make a short with you anyways, so there you go. And then as a Brandon Cooks owner, dude, I don't know if I'll ever see him again. Jason, did you own any of the players I just went through?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Because like they were going through the list, and I was like, you're kind of right, man. Like Kareem Hunt, Adam Thielen, Robert Woods.
I mean, these are all players, Robert Woods, USC. These were players that I owned in the past, and but did not want to own this year, right? There's players that were like, okay, these are players that you want to target in the draft, you want to try to get, but this is a year. I mean, Alvin Kamara, right? He's got to be one of the biggest busts this year. He probably went in the top 5 or 6. He ended up being in our championship team matchup, but he wasn't the reason why the guy got there. So, but Alvin Kamara, I feel like he could still make a comeback.
Would you rather have him or Najee Harris, Jason?
Najee Harris.
Actually,
I would. Who would you rather have, Ashley? Kamara or Najee Harris?
I had Najee this year in the other league, and he's my first round pick, so he is on the do not draft list. He's made it. No, get that. I'm pissed.
No, I totally understand and I totally agree. Joe Mixon's on my do not draft list ever again. Najee Harris is right up there. So, I've always wanted to I kept track of them because I'm like, what if I would have got Najee Harris instead of Joe Mixon? There wasn't much. He did perform better, but slightly, not enough for like first round.
well,
So
just
I
asking
could totally understand it. But I think Najee Harris performed better than Kamara or close. I don't know. I just know Kamara's been a bunch. Been a big O stinker in these last couple of weeks.
Damian Harris or those two? Not Damian Harris or Najee and Kamara.
Damian Harris?
No, Damian Pierce or Najee Harris and Alvin Kamara.
You mean the backup for the New England Patriots? Is this for next year?
Yeah.
Does the Texans have a new wide
quarterback? Who knows? I know that's the thing. That's why I put Damian Harris over them. But like, it's funny you guys talk about Najee Harris and Kamara because I have them ranked right next to each other because it's like, dude, you get the volume, but are you going to get the production?
Right. I think Kamara still has it in him, right? I think he still has it in him. I think the Saints just got to figure out some things in this offseason before he could become a first round pick again. Watch though, dude. They're going to fix some stuff. They're going to get a new quarterback, and then he's going to go in the second round, third round next year, and he's going to put up first round numbers. Watch that happen. Remember this date, January 6, 2023. That's when it happened.
Well, if they stop putting Taysom Hill in there every time, I'm like, this is fine. Like,
I know.
I don't think the new coach knows how to use him. I'm like, dude scored 6 touchdowns last year in one game.
Oh, I know.
What are you doing?
And he did that.
I don't get it.
He did that in the quarterfinals, I think, too, last year.
You got poor Red Rifle still trying to do his thing. I'm like, bro, no.
Yeah.
No.
I would have put Jameis Winston in there over Red Rifle for a long time ago, dude.
I know it. I don't know what's going on. It's a mess. Sean Payton's lucky that he got out, and now he wants to go to the Chargers. Coach the Chargers.
Or if Sean McVay goes to the media, he might want to take the Rams, but he wants to be in LA no matter what.
Wait, what? Sean McVay? What?
Goes to media, like he becomes a John
Oh,
Madden type of person.
I don't know. That'd be crazy, right? I mean, there's so much like Sean McVay is the quarterback, and he's young and all this stuff. That'd be crazy if he already gave it up to go to the media. Damn.
Well, Ashley, do you have anything to do tonight?
Nope, this is it. This is the highlight.
Awesome.
She's gonna get it after this.
So we kept you longer than normal because usually we have a Thursday night game that we just review, and we're keeping you for like a full Monday episode because I just got the 10-minute warning. So thank you so much for being here. Like that means a lot to us.
No problem. Hopefully I didn't embarrass myself. Forgive me.
No. I'm pretty sure
you are so much better than Jason and I when we were early. Like you're calm and relaxed. Jason and I are freaks.
Yeah, they used to call me Stuttering Jason. What was that? What was that?
He's like, my name's Jason. I don't know how to talk.
Start Carson Wentz against the Niners. Please. I think he will do well.
So,
no, Ashley, you were great. It was awesome seeing you again. I hope you're a reoccurring guest on our popular YouTube channel that we got going on here.
Hey, I'm down. If you want me, y'all let me know. I'll join.
Do you like any other sports?
Oh, I'm a Tar Heel fan. Carolina
Okay.
Tar Heel fan.
So you like college basketball?
Yeah, basketball. They actually had a tournament here in Portland that I was unaware, and North Carolina was like playing in that tournament. And I couldn't believe that they were playing in Portland. And it's like, I wish I would have gone, but then they also like they lost. Oh, this is not the year. This is not the year of the Tar Heel.
Neither for USC. That's how we got lost to the other night. Really?
They lost to USC?
No, your football team lost the other night.
Oh my god! I know. USC, they're awesome, but they suck. Their defense is horrible. But you know what? We have Caleb Williams, Heisman Trophy winner, for one more year. We're going to turn things around before we go to the Big 12. Yeah, they lost in that bowl game. I watched. God, our defense. Now I'm triggered, Ashley. I'm triggered, and I'm gonna have to drink probably 7 more beers just to forget we had this conversation.
I saw that, and I felt bad for you. I thought about you.
I watched that game. I couldn't even believe it. But at least Utah lost too, so it made me feel.
Didn't y'all lose to them?
They lost to Penn State. They lost to Penn State in the Rose Bowl at the Coliseum. So Tyler's favorite college team, the Beavers. That's right, the Beavers. Leave it to Beaver. Leave it to Tyler Beaver.
They've got some good running backs you want to watch out for in the NFL draft. But other than that, avoid.
Well, I mean, they actually did pretty well this year. I think a lot better than what people expected. But
beat Oregon, the Civil War.
They beat Oregon this year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn.
So, anyways.
John Madden went to Oregon, right?
Did he really? He has got the accent of somewhere east or something.
I think I just made that up, but fact check me. I could be right.
You're wrong, Jason. You're wrong. Just like all the other facts. They're wrong.
Don't even listen to me. I'm drunk.
Anyways, Ashley Serrano. If you like her, let us know. If you don't say anything because we want to keep her self-esteem intact.
Please, I have bad self-esteem.
You should. Jason and I should have terrible self-esteem.
I mean, if you're going to talk about anything, talk about how yoked out her shoulders look right now. She looks like she's hulking out. I'm surprised she's not green.
I can't even see it because it's all black.
Like my soul.
Oh, her fantasy soul. She'll rip your heart out.
Oh, she's gonna. Oh, and you know what? Ashley is actually joining our fantasy playoff challenge too. So
we're gonna more on that in the future.
Next
soon as
video,
the-
we're probably going to talk about that.
As soon as the regular season is over, we're going to go over our strategies for the fantasy playoff challenge, and it's pretty much going to go off of Vegas odds of who the Super Bowl champion is going to be, and just picking all of them.
Yep.
But we'll talk about that later. So, anyways, if you made it to the end, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let us know if you like, special guests. That'd be cool. And like I said, if you don't, keep it to yourself. And anyways, our next episode, I think I'll be coming out with last second fantasy facts or whatever. We'll recap all the games on Monday, and then we're gonna start going into rankings and fantasy playoff championship stuff. So not championships, the challenge. So there's good stuff ahead, and maybe Ashley will join us in the future for other sports since she likes other sports. So that all sounds good. Anything you guys want to say, Ashley?
Oh, just thank you for having me. Hopefully, again, I didn't sound too terrible, but it was fun. So
Oh, you sounded great.
good to see
No,
y'all.
You're great.
Again, if y'all want me, y'all let me know. I'll be glad to doing some more.
I miss you. It was great to see you again. Thank you for joining on. We'll have to get you on again.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Thank y'all.
Yeah, so check like an hour and a half, and we'll have the video up.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to stop recording. 3, 2, 1.